genuinely one of the quietest cars that I've ever been in. You couple that with that air suspension, cloud-like ride quality, it's flawless as a luxury car. Now, when you go with the base model G90, you won't be getting this multi-chamber air suspension. You will be getting an adaptive variable suspension.
But what about the actual manufacturing fit and finish? Let me see how it is. So first I'm going to do my usual panel check and alignment. But here's something very interesting. Because Genesis have hired some of the top engineers from BMWs and other European brands, I've known
a little bit of launch and chauffeur mode for this guy. So this, the point of this video is to talk about what luxury is today and how the Koreans, at least in this generation, have mastered the understanding of how you make a less annoying look.
Because they tend to apply more paint or more layers of paint. Either way, I prefer to have a thicker paint because it's better for long-term durability, and also if you have to polish out any kind of defects down the road, you definitely want thicker paint. So let's measure the hood first.
Let's see. Okay, and this is the engine. We got a 5-liter V8 naturally aspirated, 420 horse.
2 layers with thicker clear coat to come up with this amount of paint. No Japanese brands will do this because it costs so much money to add that extra layer in terms of manufacturing costs. So this is perhaps one of the key elements of this Genesis.
Lines and surfaces are beautiful. Attention was paid to how surfaces intersect at the C-pillar. It is a beautiful thing to behold. This is an absolutely gorgeous car. You can see this has a clamshell hood. That is a huge
areas that your finger comes in contact has a really nice finish to it. And even when I do my usual punch test, I can't get anything to feel loose or make a rattle. And when I'm driving this, it's absolutely solid with no...
Luxurious. You have a hanger here. You have another one here. I don't think it's aluminum, it's plastic most likely. We have vanity mirrors, the same. They go up, they go down slow.
The loaded model, you do get this 23 speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system. Standard, it will come with a 15 speaker Bang & Olufsen, but this is the 3D 23 speaker setup. It does sound very good once you finally tune it to your liking for the type of
sunshade. Okay, let's go in the front seat and talk about the front seat as well. Okay guys, we're in the front seat. This is my...
Then they could distinguish themselves through technology. Now everybody has screens. So they have to rely on now is physical attention to detail, to switchgear, to leather, to quietness, to the feelings of quality.
We have the roof, whatever, the glass roof you can remove, lights, and again all these lights, they turn on and off gradually.
You don't have to be foot to the floor in this car. You can just be quarter throttle and it just effortlessly surges off, gets up to like 50 miles per hour, like instantaneously almost. So it is powerful, it is quick. It's just there's no point in driving it like a moron. The next massive...
I don't need to go fast. You can. This has good power. You only really hear the engine when you're in sport mode. Weirdly, there's a sport mode, I know. But even cruising at freeway speeds, you don't really hear anything. You just hear tire and window.
Because even though this car was designed to be a kind of chauffeur-driven type vehicle, it's actually quite engaging for the driver in a sense that it has immense amount of power and torque and surprisingly good agile character. It competes with the likes of Audi
that are like 500 to 700 horsepower. I'm stuck in a 45 zone with cars that are actively trying to kill you or dump shit on you or go under the speed limit. This car, you're not stressing about that. I can disappear in traffic. And to Tesla's point, yes.
Feature actually works great, really gets in on your pressure points, so I love the massage. It's actually worth having in this car. And one of my most favorite features in this car is going to be the electronic doors. You can...
the self-driving system and warning systems anyway. Here you can set up the heads-up display, height, rotation, brightness, what content to have. It shows you a lot of information.
Very reflective in harsh sunlight. I wish they just used this carbon reinforced material here in the center, because this is a matte finish and it looks awesome. Also, this HVAC screen is highly
farther and farther down the priority ladder.
That's right. Genesis has built a car that it doesn't want you to drive. It's built a car you don't want to drive.
It also has the mood generator.
Like we had in the back, all that. So look, you go into illumination and you cannot select the colors on the ambient lighting. That is done from the center screen. Anyway, we have the clock, Bluetooth.
Thing is what a lot of the other brands are doing, or a single monster screen. It's just, again, it's played out, and in a luxury case, I would agree with you. There's the tenets of what creates a luxury experience. Now, this car specifically is a sedan, which is lost favor.
By the way, to close it, I can press this button, or strangely enough, there's another button here that you can use to close it, which I think is not necessary because it's perhaps overly complicating everything. As an engineer, I prefer something simple. But the whole thinking...
Not a 3D camera, 3D camera and all that. Once you put it in drive, it moves to the front camera of the car, again, until you go to a certain speed. Once you go to a certain speed, camera will change.
Sitting here like I'm caught in the middle.
I'm driving the Lexus LS and thinking that it's executed very, very well. And also thinking I'd rather be in the Genesis. I prefer the interior. I prefer the interaction of the interface. I prefer how the seats feel.
And to buy the Genesis instead, because for all intents and purposes, this provides all of those luxury features and performance for substantially less price. And I will argue that the driving feel and the character is actually better than most of those vehicles.
Another pro is going to be the fact that Genesis has the best warranty in the luxury car game, right? 10-year, 100,000 mile powertrain warranty. That's pretty much untouched. And they even offered 3-year, 36,000 mile free complimentary maintenance.
Held good, like an old LS5 or 400 back then, like a Lexus. I think now is basically nobody supports that concept of luxury even more. Even Lexus has moved away from that concept of luxury. To your point, I guess that's one of the nice things about this.
Test drives and podcasts. This is Everyday Driver.
For this discussion, we brought the latest version of the Lexus LS. This is the LS5.
For the passenger or whoever. Glove box compartment. Comes down slowly. If you press here, the DVD comes down.